Hey everybody,
I'm Adam.
I'm Sam.
And I'm Will.
And we are Working Title Young Midoriya.
Shoto!
Oh, yeah!
We are back for My Hero Academia! Episode something titles. Episode 134, The Lovely Lady Nagant?
Yes.
Nagant.
Last on,
Elegant.
Midoriya's getting glacked at by Lady Nagant. All Might got blown up by a grenade. And that's basically it. So, guys, make sure you leave a like, hit the subscription button, check out our Patreon. We got Death Note and a Patreon exclusive on there, which is Tokyo Ghoul. Sam has not seen it, Will and I have, and I'm guiding him through that show. We love you guys. We'll see you in the next one. Punch it.
Bow! Oh! Trying to look bad boy up.
Batman.
Alright, he's okay.
Oh!
Randoms.
Run him over.
Assassins! They're after young Midoriya!
Whoa.
It's Thunder Spears.
Yeah. It's the Blu-ray versions. It's the Blu-ray versions.
Wait, was he giving that lady a ride? Isn't
Oh,
she in
the
there?
robot. The rabbit.
Don't back down. This doesn't change our job. Look at him. The #1 hero we knew and feared died a long time ago.
Yeah, guess you're
Whoa. What's his support item?
Can he still throw a punch as a skinny man?
He's got a
Step
briefcase.
aside.
I can.
He's got a Quinke.
I swear to me,
Oh.
that boy has been carrying a burden far heavier than mine. And I gave it to him.
all right. No matter what happens to you from now on, I'll be there to help fight fate.
Yet despite that,
Whoa.
he continues
The
to
music.
idolize me.
Skinny All Might. Skinny All Might. Represent us. Wow.
If the unthinkable ever happens to that young man, it'll be over my dead body.
As Will said, skip this shit. Man, skip this shit. Oh!
Avoid the line of fire and keep her from guessing my path. Then get close. My speed will run for all.
He literally is
On
Spider-Man.
camera.
She's not quicker than me. I can stay one step ahead.
Wow.
And jump on her before
Oh, wow!
I'll
This looks like a video game.
Yeah!
She'll tell me. A bullet.
Whoa!
Wow. Oh! Why don't you get inside?
Oh,
Damn it.
that's
I see
crazy.
now.
She got
She's
an
also
extra
one's hired gun. Of course he gave her
Yeah.
extra
Airwalk.
perks.
She awesome.
I don't like her gun arm.
Right.
Propulsed
I know
herself.
The bullet that hit me from the back was fired from my flank with a crazy curve. As she gets closer, it's easier to lock onto my location instead of calculating my path. In that case, 6 full blast!
Super smoke.
Another quirk? He has multiples too. What secrets are you hiding?
Where did he get
Hey,
shot?
keep it together. Did you already forget what I told you before? It's way too risky to put out that much smoke. Listen, your opponent is basically a high-speed, long-range rifle. You trapped yourself. She'll tag you the second you try to run.
I'm not going to run. I just needed to buy some time.
Close the gap. Close the. Oh.
You're joking. Are you doing what I think you are?
Terrible idea. I can see what you're attempting to do right now,
I don't know.
but this plan is beyond your current abilities.
What do we see?
You said so yourself.
First
He's
off,
the Energizer
you
Bunny
do
now.
two things at once without concentration. If you master that, that's something else.
What is this?
No experience
Warming up his
might work.
calves.
Parallel processing takes practice.
It's a little late for that. If I can get some good intel out of Lady Nagant, I can make sure All For One and Shigaraki are defeated. I'll learn how to use her power on the fly.
Whoa.
Third,
Whoa.
proceed.
Regime?
What the fuck is this quirk?
Oh my god, she has a scope too.
Yeah. Ew.
Bring it. Bring it. Oh.
Smart.
What's he playing at?
coming for you.
Cheeky brat!
Is he getting naked?
Oh.
That smoke is a waste of time. I'm still going to capture you.
Alright.
Oh,
You
nice.
might be right, if that was my plan!
He's somehow faster than before. This kid powered up while he was down there.
Yep.
The rain doesn't affect my smoke screen, so it was easy to send out decoys and track Nagant's movements based on the timing of her shots. I didn't know her exact position, so I couldn't attach it.
This
Never
kid's
expected me to
crazy.
burst out of the
You
field by
break the arm.
A sniper's skills are useless at close range. Give up the fight and start talking about who hired you!
You think you've won?
No, why are you still talking?
Oh!
The safety commission trained you well.
Why are you helping a monster like All for One? I don't get it! You used to be a hero!
Yep.
The just world you've been sold is a lie.
She was Hawks' mentor.
Crap. I had her there for a second. The third was right. Using multiple quirks at once is a whole other difficulty level.
Damn!
Well, there goes his hip.
I killed so many.
Oh.
All to keep
Microphone
our
bullet.
citizens in the dark. Making the foundation
Oh man, she's like Black Ops.
Wait! We haven't done anything yet! This is just talk!
Oh,
To maintain the
gosh.
status quo, the government needed a public face and a secret one.
Damn.
So I obeyed
Yikes.
and obeyed.
Jeez. The hell of a shot. Look at that. James Bond.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, but only if you kids have been good. The fragility of our world made me spiral.
So who did you kill that you weren't supposed to? Or did she turn herself in?
We have two heroes.
She was supposed to kill
civilians to
All
commit
for One.
crimes.
If we don't show people the bad side of things, that's brainwashing by omission.
Nagant, wouldn't you agree that the most important thing for us to do is maintain the hope that public-facing heroes have brought the world?
If this is the only way, then what does the future hold for us?
Your duty is to follow orders. This is not a job you can quit.
Chairman,
Sure about that?
you were a strong leader.
Okay.
Now we know she's gonna call.
Previous head of the safety commission? But wait! I read about you! The media reported that you killed fellow heroes!
That's what the commission told them to hide their shit.
Makes sense. Why she's jaded.
That could expose the reason I turned on them. Here's the sad truth. The hero world everyone admires as a force of good is nothing but an illusion. And if things go back to the way they were, history will repeat itself. The citizens will see the infallible
Right,
public
she's dead.
face, while someone else gets crushed by the dirty work.
Yikes, man.
Bright-eyed hopefuls will be chewed up and spit out.
I love her
All
hair.
for one's future makes
I know,
more
it's
sense
really
than
cool.
that.
Good color.
Pinpoint focus!
The hell? He's mapping my movements from the trajectory of the bullets.
Cool.
I had no idea.
He's best.
But now,
Ah,
little
let's
I'm
go,
starting to
man.
understand. Nothing is truly black and white. Our society exists in a gray area, swirling with anxiety and anger.
Right.
That's exactly why I have to keep reaching my hand out to help.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're right,
You're
bud.
fine then. I'll give him more to think about.
Whoa.
Shisaki?
Wow. God. Whoa.
Now I have you.
What? What do you mean?
That's why she was using him?
To bait for...
Oh boy.
Ah.
Huh?
Kid stopped me from enacting my plan. He has a bad case of hero syndrome.
It's
What?
like this
Hero
was fated.
syndrome.
I knew you might come in handy. I'll bring you along so you can confirm it's the same boy.
I've got one condition.
I don't care about your grudge.
It's not that. I'm not looking for revenge. I've lost everything. There's only one thing that's left for me to do.
See it, Dad.
I just want to talk to the old man.
Is he dead?
I
Is
thought
he
he
alive?
died.
I really am.
He was sick. He was sick in the hospital.
I've already fulfilled my part of the agreement! Hurry up and take me to the boss, damn it!
That Chisaki!
This is destroyed. Give you too much to think about and it'll slow you down.
So I guess the guy did
That's when
die.
you're mine.
Whoa.
Quirk! Fajin! I'm repeating
Fajin.
a motion over and over again. I can temporarily store kinetic energy to be released later. While I was being shot at, I continuously bent and stretched my legs to keep from being hit. Plus, one for all, 45%! Plus, centrifugal force!
Plus!
There's something everyone my age has seen.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
Wow!
Moving faster than a speeding bullet!
Did save him.
Oh my god, look at his face!
Impossible. You're in
Wow,
Wow.
man.
Oh, Spider-Man, that shit.
I'll come for you later, Chisaki.
She's a king.
Yeet!
Earlier, you used one for all at 45%, cycling through danger sense, smokescreen, black whip, Fajin, and float in rapid succession. But he couldn't process those powers fast enough and froze up. After figuring that out, he narrowed his scope to one for all black whip and Fajin this time.
We're not finished.
And even now, he still has built up strength from Fajin stored in one
Oh
brain.
shit, pop off.
Oh, 100%! Manchester!
What is happening? What is happening?
The barrel's broken! It's over, Lady Nagant!
Dude, look at his hair.
Oh.
You shot towards Chisaki, but you didn't aim at him. And if you really believed in Overwatch's future, your first bullet would have hit my spine and paralyzed me. You've seen the darkness in this world, so you
Not
know
as
it needs to be brought into the light. It's not too late for you to fight on our side.
Look at Deku.
You know the heart of a hero still beats inside you.
Let's go.
No.
Come on.
Incredible.
Join the
Smile.
ball.
Izuku, you are
Why?
a hero.
Why? Oh, what is that?
What the fuck? She just turned to flashbang?
The heart is a thick,
Some, like-
unruly beast.
Stipulation.
Knowing this fact, I made a few preparations in the event of an unfortunate breach of contract.
This fucker.
Come on, man.
Such a pity. You were used by others until the very end. Though perhaps the quirk you were blessed with is to blame. What a pathetic life you've led.
Fucking
dear
all for
Lady
one, man.
Nagant.
Nagant, no!
Oh god.
I won't let you die! You hear me?
Hawks, you're here!
Deku!
Hey.
All Might sent word of an assassin. I'm sorry we're late.
Damn.
We're not good in this weather. What's going on? Are there other
Figures.
enemies?
It's like Roy Mustang.
Chisaki's on the roof of that building over there!
I've got it.
Look at those wild legs.
My wings can't handle it!
Oh man.
They haven't grown back just yet.
Gwen Stacy.
Oh man, dude.
Spider-Man,
Hold on,
so.
Hawks! I can't be sure, but
Shoot.
This boy. My name is Hawks. I sort of replaced you. We're in this mess because of All for
sort of
One's
replaced
manipulation. If you fought against that kid, and you should understand that now too. It's not too late for you, okay? You don't have to throw everything away. Please tell me you realize that. Help us create a future you can be proud of. Take control of your own life. You're Lady Nagant, and you are a hero.
Greater good. So how is it? You still have so much hope in your eyes. And
Dude,
all
the
this
music
chaos.
this episode
Yeah.
is
And
outstanding.
No control over the future. How can can you people keep fighting?
Milky Way.
Lo-fi cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In 2 months, at a mansion in our boring woods,
What?
Huh?
I was supposed to bring the boy there. How do you still keep going?
Because there was someone who helped me out. Also, I'm an optimistic guy.
Yes, you are.
Said so.
Damn.
Deku!
He looks naked.
Was he the only one?
This isn't what we agreed on. Why'd you get caught? You said you were going to take me to him. I have to see him to tell him I'm sorry.
Well, Deku, you know what's next, Deku.
Not a word, you sick freak. I was talking to the woman.
You remember Eri, right? What you did to her?
Mary. Oh, yeah, the girl. If I had her, she could rewind the old man.
You want forgiveness from somebody? Apologize to Eri, and in return I'll fulfill Nagant's promise. You have my word on that front.
Let's go!
How does that sound to you?
Let's go, Deku! Oh shit!
Young man!
What the?
Okay?
Yeah, I'm alright.
Just
We
jumped up.
captured Lady Nagant and Kai Chi. Nagant needs medical attention.
Midoriya's been roughed up pretty bad as well. You too, by the looks of it.
Damn, that imagery. Well.
Oh, for one.
He hates that. He's gonna hate that fucking dude by the end of this arc.
God.
He is gonna hate it.
Dude, it has been banger after banger after banger episodes.
How many episodes do we even have left?
This was 21, so if I would assume
Wow. This season's
not many more.
Flown by, man.
To start off, when I was editing the last episode, I had to look up what her name was because I could not hear how they said her name, and I said Lady Nagant. So when I looked it up, I saw her name on Wiki, and then I saw quirks: rifle, airwalk, unnamed self-destruction quirk. I was like, God damn it! And I was disappointed in myself. I was like, of course. Why did we think All For One would not give her a quirk like that?
Yeah.
Like, he would not have, like, another secret plan.
Did your mind go, like, wonder about that? Like, were you able to figure out what that was?
Oh,
about
yeah. Like,
pretty
she was
quickly?
not going to live.
Yeah.
Unnamed self-destruct quirk.
The second I saw the crack, I was like, oh gosh, some
I thought she was gonna
Dead
like,
Man
decay.
switch.
Well, I thought
Yeah.
it was gonna be like Shigaraki. She was just gonna like fall apart.
Well,
Right.
when I saw the cracks, I was like, she's going to blow up.
What the hell kind of quirk is that?
Which one?
Like, how do you...
Self-destruct?
Yeah. How do you
Dude,
even acquire that?
There's no.
Oh, yeah, like, who would want that quirk?
Yeah.
Good point.
I don't know. I mean, like it's hard because All For One just seems like God at this point. So,
know.
Yeah.
so it's hard to even like anything. You could tell me that he has a quirk that turns someone to poop, and I'd believe it. You know what I mean?
I'd believe it.
Well, there is the guy who turns people into chunks of meat
There you
I'm
go.
more
from the
so-
military school.
I'm more so saying, like, I would love to know how he came to acquire that
The
one.
self-destruct
Like,
quirk?
that's a very humorous story to have to discover. Like, who was the unfortunate soul that had that? And how did he even know to find that? Like, there had to have been a really weird story when it comes to that one.
It's probably like a variant of Bakugo's quirk.
Right.
It's not that different except he blows
Yeah.
up his. He specifically blows up his sweat. So
Probably went to the hospital to, like, see, like, quirk malfunctions, people that just have really bad,
I mean,
not
he had
well
the
made.
doctor.
Yeah, that too.
I'm sure some unfortunate kid when he hit puberty and got his quirk or whatever, he like probably blew himself up and like was almost dead, and then All For One's like, Doc, go help that one out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I want the whole, like, Bakugo type of quirk. It could almost be like in season 5 when Deku got touched by the copycat guy. They were scared that him using
Would blow
Deku's
up.
would blow up.
All Might said all your limbs would fly off.
So maybe it's like if you took someone's, like, Bakugo and gave it to somebody who's, like, a weaker body, like, it just wouldn't function properly.
well, Dobby.
Right.
Dobby's body wasn't built.
It's
for,
ice resistant, not fire.
Yeah, he was. I mean, that was more natural. You know what I mean? But still, even a quirk you're naturally born with could be, not good for you essentially. Right. So I mean, who knows? Ida can have a kid and his pipes in the back of his leg point like this way. Instead of front to back. It can happen.
Just implodes on himself.
Yeah, his legs just
or face the other way, so he splits in half.
He flies backwards because they're facing forward.
Yeah. On the topic
fire hydrant
of Bakugo, because I was just thinking about this for Overhaul. Like, if it's just Bakugo's hands that sweat nitroglycerin, it's not the rest of his body.
It's just his hands.
No,
he sweats it all through his body, but his hands are the trigger.
Blow up. Yeah, his hands blow it up because his suit, it collects his sweat.
Right.
So you can use it. It's not like it's just his palm sweat. It's his all sweat.
Okay. Because I was just like, how come we haven't seen him, like, pew, off the shoulder, or, like, pew, or, like, with his feet. He doesn't propel with his feet. It's always his hands.
It's another reason he flies that way. Because he can't do it out of his feet.
Yeah.
Which that's helpful, too. Like, hands give a lot of, like, trajectory. It would probably be also helpful to have it on the legs, but he doesn't.
Maybe he could learn to do it, but it'll be, like, costly. You know what I mean? He does it on his leg, and it blows up his leg.
Shoto can do it out of his legs. He presses down into the ground and shoots up ice.
Yeah.
He can do the Bobby thing from X-Men and, like, skate around.
And then...
I just haven't thought about him in a while. Bobby. Yeah.
I was just wondering, like, would the same thing be with Overhaul? Because Overhaul, was it only his hands?
Only his hands.
Yeah, I would assume it's only his hands since he can't do it now.
Because, I mean, like your feet, you just...
Yeah.
Just a thought.
How did he, just remind me real quick, how did he get the other people's quirks? Is it because...
What?
How did he get the one guy's quirk? Like the Overhaul? How he became a giant squid? Can he...
He melted himself down and the other guy and then reconstructed them together.
Okay, he's a deconstruct, reconstruct. He's like Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah.
Yes.
Type of
He's
shit.
like full...
Nailed it.
Yeah,
Good job.
Type shit.
I remember it was super wacky how it functioned. Because he took out like the big creature, like one of the big
well,
people.
He turned into a big creature.
You brought up his boxing friend the last reaction.
Yeah.
And he said they fought several times and every single time he died, but he brought him back.
Yeah, he put him back together.
So
Roku? I forget what that guy's name is. He was awesome.
It's like Rocka Rocka.
Yeah.
Something like that.
He was awesome.
Remember, that's the YouTube channel.
That is a YouTube channel.
The guys who fight each other.
The Australian twins. I love those guys.
Old day YouTube.
Stunt doubles.
Lady Nagant's crazy. Super talented. But Deku's just also that guy. Deku really came out this like episode in like the craziest way with his powers.
I love that Deku in the in 2 seasons has gone for, or like 2.5, or like 1.5 seasons really. He went from having 1 quirk to having 9.
Yeah.
At this point. Like, he just has so many. Like every episode I was like, oh, like last episode I was like, oh damn, like he's got a smoke quirk now too. A smoke quirk and the, it's like high alert
sensor,
or whatever, but now he's got, Fajin.
And there's one more we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, we still have one more.
The Bakugo clone guy.
But
honestly, even when it said Fajin, I didn't understand what was happening until the scene where you see the guy touching his leg. The whole time, even when they said Fajin, I was still under the impression that the legs were just Deku's all for one. Because it did that lightning trickle.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they were red. It was a different color. It was why I was like, whoa.
It was
new happening.
I thought he was going to do what Shigaraki did in the earlier episodes where he didn't even use his quirk. He just squatted down and jumped.
Yeah.
That's what he was starting to do.
Well, so the quirk, Fajin, he basically stores kinetic energy by doing the same motion repeatedly.
Is it only his legs?
No, just
anywhere.
I think it's anywhere in his body. So because he did,
it's a charge bunny.
He charged it up. He was able to use it, and even when he used it to, race faster than a bullet, he still had enough energy to get back to.
Whoa, that is insane.
Mm-hmm.
So in theory,
he can do that with his one. He can do that with the 100 punch.
Mm-hmm.
He can store it up and then do the 100 punch with like battery powered reforce behind it.
Well, not even the punch. Imagine the flick if he just did this and then flicked.
His finger. I feel like this is a little bit safer to start.
I know, but like his air bullets. Didn't he shoot air bullets at people? Yeah. Imagine he could blow a hole through somebody. Yeah, that.
And when he lost all his fingers.
Season 2.
I love that. That's one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
The Jump Force game, just like tracking the person.
Yeah.
So sick.
But yeah, so another quirk unlocked for Deku.
That's one of my favorites so far.
Yeah.
The idea behind that. I mean, the smoke one's cool. I think that and Black Whip, they just function better for like the little things in the story.
Supportive.
Yeah, they're support items. I think that one is going to be super friendly with like the big one that we all love and know. I like the flight one too. I think the flight helps a lot. Just it is kind of silly knowing that he can fly, and then also does the web slinging.
Yeah.
I just would rather him just fly. rather
Well,
than the web slinging.
I don't know if it's necessarily flying. It's more like
float.
hovering, float. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's more so like he can't fall, if that makes sense. Like if he's actively using it.
No, I was just gonna say my headcanon is that All Might did unlock that one by accident. He just never could tell because he's so strong. Like season 1, the first episode when he like jumps with all.
What does he do?
Deku. He's basically flying because he's so strong. He's like the Incredible Hulk, and then Deku's just like, oh, just like slinging behind him.
Well, then there's, is it season 2 when he fights Bakugo and Midoriya? He does something like this and he flies backwards.
That's what I mean. Like he's so strong, he basically just flies already. Because he does like a back hit into Bakugo during the training.
And then in the first season, he punches a villain so hard he changes the weather too. There's that too.
I miss Big All Might.
I know. So I still love Skeleton All Might.
We should have gotten him fight as Skeleton All Might.
Yeah,
I know, but
they
I just
missed it.
Dude, he terrified those guys just by stepping.
Yeah, he did. I just love Big All Might. There's just like everything about him.
That beginning of the episode was amazing. Yeah. And the music, dude. The music. Oh my gosh, the piano that was playing towards the end of this episode.
Her theme. She had a theme. That was creepy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All the orchestral music this episode was awesome.
I've been noticing I would call it like the Nomu theme. Ba-na-na-na. They've been using that a lot for like a lot of different things. They used it a lot during like the overall fight from the last arc, but they've been using it for like her, like mixing it with her theme, mixing it with all the peons of All for One recently, or just the general idea of Doomsday in the most recent arc. So that's been interesting. A lot of new piano. Is it suites or suits? I've been taught. I can never remember that. Like SUITE when you suite.
For what? I'm sorry.
Like a piano suite.
That I don't know. Suite like in a hotel.
I should have asked my piano teacher when I read those things because it would just say like, but like I just didn't want to be the ones like is it tomato or is it tomato? Yeah. And then the class just laughed. So well, hey, you guys can laugh behind the screen and then just let us know how it's spelled.
How it's phonetically pronounced.
Yeah. But yes, the new piano songs, suits or suites, are sweet. Ha.
That's what you did there.
Yeah. And won't laugh at myself at that one.
Lady
Nagant on her
is probably the most rightfully jaded person in the world. Mm-hmm. At a young age, she got signed up with the safety commission same crew as Hawks. To basically, her whole job was to whack people behind the scenes. She was just an assassin for the government to protect Hero Society and the world. So, she made it seem like mostly she was killing heroes that were doing dirty deals or doing shady stuff that would make Hero Society look bad.
She did say terrorist groups that are plotting against the pros.
Yeah. So, I mean...
I never even thought of any of that shit could happen in this universe. I just always thought heroes were on top of that shit.
I mean, I think there's so many, like, subpar heroes that, like, it's gotta... Like, you have to have, like, groups like the League of Villains all the time. And even just, like, a normal bad guy group that's just regular people that may not even have, like, quirks that are worth using in battle that are, like, mobsters, Shiei Saikai, like, all that kind of stuff. Like, Yakuza groups that want to take down heroes because they ruin the business for them. They ruin the crime business.
Right.
So, she got sick of it after having blood on her hands and realizing, like, the world was so fake and how, like, fragile everything is held together just because, they live in this ideal, perfect world. Which really, it's funny, too, that they've kind of, like, hit home on that the past, like, few seasons of, like, just, like, completely tearing down Hero Society from this, like, All Might and our hero, protector of peace, the perfect thing. Nothing's wrong in this world. So now, as soon as he's gone, the true colors of everything, the real gray of the world instead of the black and white, is coming to the front of the scene for society. And she was basically over that and killed the leader of the safety commission.
Yeah.
And then they just framed her for everything. They're like, yeah, she was just an asshole, killed heroes. It's an easy way to shut her up and put her away.
I like the show. They haven't done it super often, but they already are for these type of conversational pieces. They design the world in a rainy fall. We got fog with Deku's quirk. We got the rain with just the weather, but to
Dark
to have it match the tone of where the show currently feels is a nice. Because the show started so beautiful.
Even Deku's outfit matches what the show's
the tone
leading towards. Yeah, Dark Deku, baby.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Could you, Will, when you were explaining how All Might and heroes are grandiose, and now since he's gone, it's all shifted? Could that be? I was just thinking of how the world must have seen All Might when there was a time when All for One was ruling the world. They made it seem and then All Might stopped it. So do you think that was civilization was okay, heroes are a thing. Now that they've gotten used to it, and then one fucked up, now it's in smithereens.
I think necessarily it's just that I think that they being the powers that be, realized that even because clearly she was doing this when All Might was around. Hawks isn't new. It's not he's a new hero that came up yesterday. Yeah. He's been doing this since the end of All Might's career. She was probably doing it when All Might was really, really working. So it's everything has kind of been a lie and BS. How perfect the world seemed, even though there were villains running amok. There's corruption in the world. People are people. They're going to do horrible things. Even when they're good people with good intentions, they're going to benefit themselves, line their pockets, whatever. I think that it's not necessarily just one person messed up and, now we don't have the symbol of peace. I think that it's overall they were we have the symbol of peace is really good, but we need to make sure that nothing can break this image that we have.
Right.
Utilize her and Hawks, for that matter, as much as possible. So
yeah, I think it comes down to how much you can portray the good image to keep people's attention solely fixed on that. All Might, when he's no longer in the picture, people have to point their eyes in a direction and then see the world through a certain lens. And when he's not there to filter that lens anymore, then you have to look at Endeavor, and it's well, he's kind of an interesting guy. Okay, Hawks, we don't really know much about him, and so then you have to perceive life through. It's any of our shows. We're having a good day when we watch a good show, and then it changes our outlook. But if we're watching a bunch of shit things, we might have more of a shittier outlook on life. So when All Might's out of the picture, it is what it is, and unfortunately, he was a huge.
I think it's just accelerated it all at this point. Because they were clearly doing it before when All Might was around.
Exactly. It was always there.
But now that we don't have the plus 100 boost of positivity, it's fuck, well now it's going to be easier to see through the cracks. Especially with people like Endeavor being our guy, because it's just not going to work out with him.
It's we won the World War. Everything feels good and joyous in the world. But no, the next day people will still get horrible things done to them. In the scores, thousands of people will still die, as they always do. But it's just about the image, the current image, and All Might let it work for the golden age until it wasn't the golden age anymore.
So with both of you, what you just said, could you say it's black and white and there's no gray?
No, I'd say it's gray.
I think it's gray. I think it's 100% gray. What Deku was saying. It's always been gray. The world has never really been black and white. Maybe there are a lot more, good and bad.
Yeah.
But
it's really in between.
It's in between. And you're going to have your All Might and All for One where it's this is the ultimate good, has never done anything wrong. This is the ultimate bad. He has never done anything good. there 99% of humanity is going to exist in the gray area, and they're going to do something that's, kind of bad. It's just, some heroes that are supposed to stand up for the good maybe lean farther to the bad side. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
And I hear what you mean with, like, the confusion of it all, with, like, how people can see it as white and black when it comes to things. I think it's not that...
Well, just thinking of Endeavor, he went from being so amazing to now finding out about Dobby. He is clearly the opposite.
I think it's more so, like, the reason it is gray is because it can go from super great to super bad on a teeter-totter. Like, it can just fluctuate too much.
Yeah.
Like, it's... Like, Attack on Titan's a great example of, like, the gray, because everything just feels gray all the time. You feel complicated, but a lot of the times... What is that?
The gray.
The gray.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like a good person, but I have my bad days. I don't
Absolutely.
know. I don't know how to explain. Like Overhaul is in the dark right now.
Yeah.
But there's a chance for light that exists, which is why it's like... It's like gray material, because he can be shifted. It just depends on how Deku treats it. You can put him in the coffin and it's always dark, or you can do things about it and bring out the reasons he might have fallen to the dark, the reasons he might have stooped to abusing Ari. And it's a really hard thing that most people don't want to admit, because everybody would prefer to see somebody that's your enemy as only dark material, and rather than say, how did he fall to this level, as opposed to having some light in his life prior. Because everybody doesn't inherently, like, just become a monster.
Yeah.
There tends to be reasons the monster is created.
Yeah.
Or
but
build
they're
up
not
to
born
it.
a monster, you mean? They become it.
They have the capacity for being a monster, and then just based off how the life succession goes, it can become a thing.
Yeah. Deku brought that up in the previous episodes. He was like, I never understood why they chose this life.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, but Deku's already handling one of the hardest ones right off the bat, which is a child abuser. Let's try to correct this rather than put him in his coffin. Yeah. So that's a big step.
Yeah. And Deku...
I don't like Overhaul.
Yeah, I just enjoy.
I like him, but I don't like him.
I like his aesthetic and he's a fun... He's a good bad guy. He's a shitty person. Horrible.
Oh, yeah.
Same with Muscular. Muscular killed for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dobby, too.
And Deku is slipping down a little bit of a dark path himself of hating All For One for, like, what he's doing. Between, like, the way he sees Shigaraki as, like, the tortured child, the misled, brainwashed child, to, using and abusing Lady Nagant, and, everyone else that is being ruined by what All For One is doing. I feel like on one hand it's interesting to see, like, maybe not necessarily interesting is the right word. I think more so I'm a little confused on Deku being, like, having the heart to forgive and want to reach out and help Shigaraki, but also, like, the same time having this, like, seemingly, like, burning passion of hatred for All For One.
It's pick and choosy. That's all it is.
Well,
he's picking and choosing, which is... That's why it's like I wonder what his overall stance will be with All For One. Because the ultimate test is him, the original sin abuser. But that's the cop out. Mm-hmm. The show's called My Hero, so I'm really curious to see if they'll take that step and, like, acknowledge that there surely might be a initial incident for leading even to him. But it's also like, who knows? He might extend it, and then he might just have to put All For One in the grave because in the moment he's trying to kill people. Because not everybody, you can extend the offering, but if it's denied, you can only do so much for the person.
Before Midoriya even saw the Shigaraki's inner child, didn't he say to him, "I hate you"?
Yeah, he did.
Or "I'll never forgive you for this."
That's what he said in the last fight they had just had. But it seemed that his opinion changed when they
saw the inner child.
Yeah, when they were in the vestige world.
Yeah.
Having the face off for One For All.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just weird to see, like, Deku progressing to try. Like, he never had hatred for villains before, but it's not like he went out of his way to, like, really care for them, and now he's, like, trying to
understand them
and, like,
how they got here.
But then also, like, seemingly burning that bridge with All For One, which Granted, All For One has burned that bridge with humanity a long time ago, but still, it's just weird. It's just weird to see. I just don't know if I really get Deku at this moment.
I don't think there is. If what you guys are trying to say is Midoriya is picking and choosing who to save villain-wise, you know, I think we've seen at least 9 people try it. All who've had One for All, and he's killed them, or they've died trying.
Yeah.
So I don't think there is a going back for All for One.
I don't know how much they did.
Yeah. Well,
we don't know yet.
But they all had the mentality too of like hide, or even I feel like
Kill
one
him.
of them said they wanted to kill him.
Yes, they tried.
And even the 2 originals, they were like, we're really gonna trust this kid that wants to save Shigeru. Like really, we're doing this. Like this is naive to trust this boy. So like most of them didn't really believe in saving All For One. You know, a couple of them didn't believe in saving All For One, or at least saving Shigaraki in the moment. I don't know. I just would like to expound more on like
Midoriya's mindset.
Yeah, it's so frustrating. I don't know why with TV shows we just don't ever have like full in-depth conversations about like what we're feeling about things.
It's complicated.
I know. It's just I wish that like even if it's complicated, like explain it, like talk it out, like have a little like therapy session with All Might, you know what I mean, and like talk these things out instead of like having like the one-off kind of words and then the thoughts and then we kind of just keep it moving. Yeah. So, but
well, I'd say we have time for that.
We do.
This is the first episode that I really felt the hate for Deku towards All For One, because they don't get a lot of scenes together for one thing. So Deku has many topics to talk about in this show. So I feel like this is one of the few times we get to hear like his outlook on the big baddie, which is really cool because it's not going well for him. Also, the battery's going to die. Any last thoughts?
No.
Great episode.
Great episode. Guys, let us know your favorite thoughts from this episode or favorite moments. Who is the MVP? There's some cool contenders for this one. What was your, I don't know. Just let us know your theories in your comments down below. The battery's going to die. Screw it. Bye-bye. Bye! I can't talk. Gibberish. Yeah. Oh no, botched.